Thanks for joining us today, Sarah. Can you just start by introducing yourself and what industry you're from?
So I am Sarah Cannell, the Marketing Manager at Tourism Northern Tasmania.
Obviously working in tourism.
Yes,
so
working in tourism,
yeah.
Yes.
So what led you to become the Marketing Manager at T&T?
Okay, so I started my studies at the University of Tasmania doing a Bachelor of Business, majoring in marketing. I was a bit unsure in my last year, I'm not sure really if I'm going to like this once I leave uni, or will it be different in real life, not academic life. So I decided to do a corporate internship. I did the first one in my first semester of my last year and really enjoyed it. I did it at Tourism Northern Tasmania. And then I decided in my second semester to do 2 internships at Tourism Northern Tasmania. So from there was a job advertised in November where a lady had left for maternity leave contract, and I applied for that and was lucky enough to be the successful candidate. I worked there, for 12 months and then was promoted from the Marketing Communications Officer to the Marketing Manager. So that was a fairly big jump over being only a first year at grad, but I'm lucky enough to have a boss who's really supportive of young people and supporting their careers. So, yeah.
So can you outline a little bit more about what T&T is all about?
Yeah, sure. So Tourism Northern Tasmania is the regional tourism body. So the way that works is there's a state tourism body, Tourism Tasmania, then there's a regional body that looks after different regions. We're for the north, so sort of the northeast area as well. And then you've sort of got local tourism bodies as well. So as a regional tourism body, what we do is we're a destination management agency. A lot of people get confused and think that we're just a marketing agency for the region. We aren't. A destination management agency does things like advocacy, so looking after different businesses, say with the floods for instance. In Mull Creek, my boss sort of made a lot of public statements about having to reinvest in tourism to sort those problems out. We also do industry development, so that means like training, working with industry to sort of see what problems they're going through and to try and come up with resolutions. And then what I do in the organisation is the marketing, so campaigns around destinations, making sure that we're out there and well known.
Great. So in your role, do you utilise social media?
Absolutely. I would be surprised if there were many marketing roles that did not. Yes, absolutely. We use social media in 2 different ways. Mm-hmm. We use social media to connect with our consumers, and what we do through that is using Facebook and Instagram. And we target different target markets and talk to them in different ways, different tones of voices, and try to connect with them and engage with them. Our other way that we use social media is we have a stakeholders group, a private group on Facebook, which we think is really effective, a really effective form of communication, because we can talk to them, they can talk back in real time. It's not like a one-sided email when you give everyone a list of things to do. It's very much saying, okay, let's be collegiate and have ideas where there's a bit of back and forth going, okay, do you think this is a good idea? How should industry work with each other this way? So we use it in 2 different manners, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Great. So why do you think social media platforms are so essential to help organisations?
Oh, well, I guess it depends what you're using it for. In a marketing perspective, it is pretty much the only promotional channel where you are going to be engaging directly with your consumers. And what I mean by that is they can say, I hate that idea, or I love that idea, or I'm not really sure about that idea, or even give feedback in real time. You can then engage with them and go, I sort of see what you're saying, but what do you think about this, and so forth. So I think it's really great in that you are really building a relationship with your consumers. It's not one-sided saying, here's my messages for you all the time, like normal promotion. People can actually say, actually I'm opting out of this, I don't want to hear about it, or hey, I want to hear more about this. So you're actually getting results, I guess, in real time, and you can change what you're doing to suit the consumer as well, so it's better received.
Okay. So in your opinion, which types of social media are more critical for businesses?
Oh, again, a hard one, because it really depends on who your target market are, what your business is and what they're trying to achieve. I personally don't really like Twitter too much, but in saying that, if the tennis is on or a sporting tournament or anything like that, there's nothing better than watching the Twitter feed and seeing like things happening in real time. And that's really the only thing I would use Twitter for. I think that Instagram and Facebook are really the things to be watching at the moment. But again, if your target market is China, they don't have Facebook. So it is really confusing, I guess, but it's all about working out who your target market is and how they want to receive that message and choosing the platform from there.
Great. And so with the popularity of social media, is it still important for businesses to have a website?
Look, I think it is. That's a difficult question, but I think it is because normally Facebook will be used as sort of a promotional channel to say, here's all of our information, let's build a relationship, and then let me bring you over to our website for point of sale. And that's how you'll see most businesses using Facebook and websites together. In saying that, I think that websites, there's a great opportunity there to have heaps of information. And you can't really have that with Facebook if you keep ploughing people all the time. Website's more of an option, I think, for consumers to go that little bit further and say, okay, I really want to actually find out heaps about this, or I want all of the details. And you don't want to get, I guess, a lot of details on Facebook and social media. People can be a bit like, well, there's so much information, I'm just going to scroll straight through that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons to back why or why not you would have a website, but that's sort of what I believe, yeah.
Great. So do you have any tips for our students on social media?
Oh, well, it depends if you're talking about their personal profiles or their business profiles.
Let's talk about both.
Okay, so to start with your personal profiles, people will say, oh, it's set to private.